Hi there guys, it's me Moss. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a story to tell y'all cause shit happens to me quite often, and when I think back on said shit that happened to me, I realized it was kinda fucked up, especially this video's topic, where I'm gonna be discussing the worst bully I've ever fucking had since I was in elementary school, and probably like ever. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for sticking around, I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. So, I was a wee young lad. I was like occasionally bullied, but it didn't really like start becoming a problem until 3rd grade. The bullying I went through before was like mild, it wasn't traumatizing yet, but then 3rd grade happened and oh my god, I was a wee young lad. I had undiagnosed ADHD. And I freaking loved My Little Pony and One Direction. Those are the two interests I was super fucking into. Like, I love these things so much. And at the time I didn't realize it, but I now know that I was hyperfixating on it. Cause, you know, ADHD and all that jazz. So yeah, back then I was like really into these shows and boy bands, and I was like really vocal about it. I always talked about them, I drew them a lot. I mentioned it to my friends and whatever, and because I was so fucking loud and annoying about it, I got bullied, which in retrospect, god I can't speak, it shouldn't have happened because I was just expressing my love for something and I got fucking teased about it, which is not fun, and eventually led to me masking all of my interests and closing off and no one knowing anything about me ever. But yeah, I got bullied a lot by kids from my class and even older kids. Like, I had a weird beef with like kids from the upper grade or whatever. We don't need to get into all of that, but there was one particular bully from my class who was just the absolute fucking worst. I think back on him and I just want to like, not particularly anything violent, but you know, teach him a lesson or two. For the sake of privacy, we're gonna call this bully Dipshit. So, Dipshit was, as you guessed, a dipshit. Back then, I used to love to draw fan art of My Little Pony and One Direction. I loved to make my own characters for My Little Pony. And, occasionally, more than occasionally, to be honest, when I would go outside the classroom or just leave my drawings around, Dipshit would just fucking draw all over my shit all the goddamn time on My Little Pony drawings because he thought it would be fucking funny. Even though I poured all my love and heart and soul into those drawings. Though looking back, those drawings are kinda shit, but I was in 3rd grade, they weren't gonna be masterpieces. But either way, he would fucking scribble all over them. And not even like a generic scribble, he would be fucking vulgar about it. He would draw penises, genitalia, all over my shit. Up my pony's asses and in their mouth and everything. Keep in mind, we're in 3rd grade. We were like 8 years old, which is like crazy to think about now. Looking back at it, I don't know why 8-year-old boys were so fucking vulgar and like sexual. Like, I remember this one time when the boys would just straight up look up hentai on the school computer, and it was like, what the hell? Why were they like that? Granted, I was also kind of like that, but at least it was in private. Anyway, yeah, Dipshit would just draw just extremely vulgar things all over My Little Ponies, and he would taunt me for my interest. He would like pick out a phrase that really annoyed me and just repeat it over and over again until I fucking cried. And I would fucking cry in the middle of class. Well, I had to sit next to this guy, by the way. He would fucking sit next to me and just fucking repeat this phrase that pertained to my interest that would just taunt me. And I would like end up crying because of it. And then the fucking teacher would see me crying and be like, stop fucking crying, you're such a goddamn crybaby. Just because he's saying something annoying doesn't mean you have to cry over it. And so, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Teachers are so fucking annoying sometimes. But yeah, this fucking guy, he was just the worst. And I went through, he wasn't like the only bully. I was bullied by basically almost every boy in the class. I remember making a birthday card for one of my favorite teachers at the time, and I drew said teacher as a pony, and I would like give it to him, and then the fucking boys would be, why are you always talking about ponies? You're so fucking lame and cringy. Like, fuck off. this isn't for you. I'm giving it to my teacher. And he was like cool about it. He was very thankful and nice, but oh my god, it's just a pony. Why does it affect you so goddamn much? And one other time, I drew ponies for like a Christmas drawing because we were doing that. And one of the fucking boys just fucking snatched it out of my hand and just ran around and ended up ripping it, which fucking, looking back, I want to like, straight up, not gonna lie, I want to strangle them. Alright, I wish I wasn't such a goddamn pussy back then and just fucking beat their asses. Oh my god. If I could go back in time, I would just fucking beat the shit out of them and teach them, for legal reasons. I don't know. It's not like, I'm not going to school anymore, but for legal reasons, I wouldn't actually. I was just like, you know what? I would risk the suspension or whatever. So yeah, I got bullied for being, you know, an undiagnosed with ADHD kid. And fast forward to middle school, at this point I was like pretty closed off about my interests. I didn't like to express them at all because, you know, trauma from 3rd to 4th grade, being bullied for everything I liked. I just kind of learned to not do that anymore. So at this point I was like closed off and didn't really talk to anyone, and I, you know, just being a real lame kid. And so dipshit, he's got even worse. Warning for stuff relating to racism and homophobia and mentions of Hitler, because this is just gonna be kind of a wild ride. Back then, in middle school, I liked to dye my hair a lot, and I had blue fucking hair, and I was like a far left leaning, really politically correct, all those buzzwords. I still am, to be honest. And yeah, I was one of those kids, and dipshit, this guy he was one of those guys who was like way too into World War II. He would fucking carry around the book Mein Kampf, or however you pronounce it. He would like read it all the time, and he was like, he talked about Hitler like way too much, and like, it's so fucking weird, you know? It's just, those kinds of people, just a really big red flag for him, because, you know, they're often very, I don't know, conservative and like really old-fashioned. I don't know how to say it. I'm not like a political person, but you know, he was one of those kids. And one time I remember vividly, he would literally draw in art club meetings. He was in the art club for some reason. He would literally draw KKK burnings. And if you don't know what the KKK is, they're like the Ku Klux Klan. They're like really a white supremacy group, and he would fucking draw white supremacy burnings and shit, and that was just fucking crazy to me. Why the fuck was he doing that? It was such a huge red flag, and like, thinking back on it, he was so fucking weird. It was insane. So yeah, he always like tried to come off as being an intellectual and smart and like super fucking cool and really like to think a lot. He loved to express himself as that kind of person, which granted I kind of did like a little bit, but not to the extent that he did. And it was so fucking pretentious. He was so fucking pretentious about being smart and like, I'm different, I'm like fucking more mature, and I read Mein Kampf, and like all these other kids don't fucking know shit. And I remember specifically one time in literature class, my school used to have this thing where we like studied with foreign teachers, and it was all in English, and we had American textbooks. And in literature, one time we were talking about a story regarding immigrations and American immigrants, and the teacher asked something about what happens when immigrants don't act American, something like that. And dipshit legit says they get deported like instantly. I was like, my reaction was instantaneous. Like, what the fuck, dude? No, that's not how it works. And this was during the time when like that was a big problem in America. Like, illegal immigrants were like getting deported, and it was just so fucking insensitive and just so. He was such a fucking. Oh my god. I remember one time it was like a free period, and for some reason I was just talking to him. I don't know why, but it came to the point of we were talking about gay people and homosexuality, and he said, and I quote, "I want to kill all gay people." Like, I'm not kidding. He legit said that. Like, I can't believe what kind of person this guy was, but also based on the stuff I said before, it's not really that surprising that he would be that kind of person. But I'm just this kind of person cannot be real. It's so fucking horrible how this guy's just walking around. And of course, I retaliated. I wanted to fucking debate this guy. Oh my god. Oh, and by the way, one time we learned about Edgar Allan Poe, and we learned that he married his 13-year-old something teen cousin, and he literally said that he doesn't find anything wrong with it. He literally said, "What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with that." And like, that gives you an idea of his character even more. I remember this one TikTok where it's just like this blue-haired far left-leaning girl versus the conservative guy in class. And it's like, wow, I saw that TikTok and I was like, that was literally me. And yeah, and also in the same textbook from literature, there was an image of like an American school with like with people of different races, including black people and, you know, white people and Asians. And he legitimately just says, "Why are there so many black people?" Like, he points them out and asks that. Like, who? What? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Like, it's an American school, and if it wasn't American, why does that matter? Why do you have to point that out? Why is that such a big deal for you? It's just so fucking... This guy was very clearly racist and horrible and homophobic. Just an overall awful person. So yeah, I eventually transferred to another school. That old school was honestly kind of bad. I didn't like that school's environment. It just really sucked. I got in touch with an old friend from that school because, you know, I did make really good connections, and I found out that even in the 6th grade and in middle school going up, the boys still talk shit about me behind my back, like talking shit about my weight and how fucking fat I was. Like, come on, man. But that's not surprising, you know. I wasn't really in the loop in any drama either because I was kept to myself, and I was kind of a weird kid. Oh yeah, there was also another story in 3rd grade. Jesus Christ, 3rd grade was just full of trauma for 8-year-old me. And I was in like, I wouldn't say special, I was like, I got to study the American or subjects with foreign teachers in the grade above for some reason, because I was like really good at English and stuff. And I'll sometimes doodle on the desk of the upper grades desks. And one time I drew My Little Pony, as you may have guessed, on the desk, and after that, the day after that, I was forced to erase it. People like walk up to me and dragged me to like, I don't know if they dragged me. I have a really vague memory of this because I think I suppressed it so much because it was so awful. But yeah, I was forced to like erase it, while people, including the teachers, fucking watched me as I cried and laughed because I was so I cried because I was so embarrassed I was being watched erasing this, even though, yeah, I know it was wrong to draw on the desks, but like, dude, you didn't have to make a spectacle out of it. It was so awful. Generally, 3rd grade was so full of trauma that I did not need for my developing brain. So yeah, I hated that school. And this is all I have for now. Maybe there's more stories in my head that I've just suppressed because of how fucking awful they were, and this just gave me a huge cringe attack. So yeah, I'm in a new school now. It's like better. It's not like super great, but I don't get bullied anymore. Do you even get bullied in high school? I don't know. But yeah, not in that school anymore, and I'm glad because it was just so god awful. Thank you for watching if you made it all this way. I really appreciate it. All my social media links will be in the description, my Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, whatever. And also my commission info if you want a personal drawing made for you. You should check out that because, you know, I want to make money, to be honest, because I have a lot of things I want. So yeah, commission info, social media, all down there. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video and my annoying ass rant about this random kid from my childhood. Yeah, bye bye.